Hey there, my friend. Welcome to the Catholic Teacher Daily Message. Whether you're watching on the YouTubes or you are listening on the podcast version, please make sure you've subscribed. Makes my mother very happy, all right? Don't do it because you want to grow in holiness. Don't do it because you want to learn more about God's incredible plan for your beautiful response to his vocational invitation. Do it to make my mother happy. Actually, the time I'm recording this, it's Mother's Day tomorrow. So if you subscribe, she'll be really happy. Thank you. All right, today we are going to jump into a quote from one of my absolute favourites. I discovered her very late, but just a beautiful soul and writes so beautifully. Her name is Caryll Houselander. Grab some Kleenex, friends, because this quote chokes me up. So let's do it. Sometimes it may seem that there is no purpose in our lives, that going day after day for years to this office or that school or factory is nothing else but waste and weariness. But it may be that God has sent us there because but for us, Christ would not be there. If our being there means that Christ is there, that alone makes it worthwhile. Wow. Just wow. Our culture is a culture of excess and extravagance and success and being seen and being noticed and being influential and being recognized. And my daughter was talking to me this week about the Met Gala and the dresses for the Met Gala. I mean, look, all I can say about the Met Gala is that if aliens turned up, they'd just be like, you know what, guys, we're getting back on the ship, all right? We're out of here. We thought we were strange. Friends, it's a culture that rewards being seen. And the most terrifying thing for our culture is not being influential, not being beautiful, rich, young, powerful, influential, not having the right opinions. And then we get this beautiful quote from Caryll Houselander and the image that she paints for us. She's such a poetic soul, right? Imagine going to the same factory year after year after year, or the same school. There will be some of you watching right now who are questioning whether you should continue. I'm not God, I'm not your spiritual director, but let's just allow the Spirit to speak through this message today. But she tells us that if we didn't go, then Christ would not be in that place. And he's never going to leave us or abandon us. He promised he wouldn't leave us as orphans, right? He promised us he wouldn't. So he's never going to leave you somewhere and forget you. But he may leave you somewhere that's difficult, because he knows that in that difficulty you will either descend into cynicism, exhaustion, burnout, and hardness of heart, or you will become truly dependent and you will seek his heart. You go, Lord, do you still want me here? Do you still want me here? Do you want me to stay here? I'll stay here if you want me to stay. Your will be done. But isn't it a beautiful image that if we continue to go, we might be the only presence of Christ there? I've been coaching one of my kids' soccer teams, and it's a real interesting cross-section of kids. It's not a particularly talented team. Holy Spirit, please make sure none of them see this video. And I think many of the kids in that team come from really difficult backgrounds. And I have zero soccer coaching skills. I coached rugby my whole life, and I only coached because they couldn't get anyone else. It was like a puppy dog. It was like they had big eyes, and it came on an email and it said, if we don't get a coach, there'll be they can't play. And I'm like, it's got big eyes. Can we bring it home? Anyway, so I said yes, and I'm really convinced as the season's gone on that it's hard. It's not something that I would have chosen. There's a lot of challenges with it, but I begin to think maybe my job is just to be the presence of Christ. How? Am I doing altar calls? I ain't doing altar calls. I'm just trying to encourage and be a blessing and provide affirmation and respect and kindness to some kids that may not be getting it somewhere else. So maybe if I wasn't there, then the presence of Christ in some small way wouldn't be there, right? And so maybe for you, we need to remind ourselves that we are, what's that beautiful name for Mother Mary, the Theotokos or the Theotokos. I always love that word. I have beautiful icons in our home. The Theotokos, they called her, What is the Theotokos? The Theotokos is the God-bearer, the Mother of God. That's why she's so important, because she is the Theotokos. She is the God-bearer. She bears Christ. And then we participate in that, right? We participate in it. That our baptismal vocation and your vocation as a Catholic teacher is to be the Christ bearer. It's to be the bearer of Christ. And you cannot bear him if you do not know him. And you cannot know him if you do not practice your faith and seek him in the life of prayer, the life of contemplation, the life of service, the life of the sacraments. So, got to stop. Thank you, Caryll Houselander. Let us be Christ bearers, even if it's hard. Even if we are not thanked, even if we feel overlooked and forgotten and ignored and unappreciated, let us be the bearers of Christ in each classroom, because if you weren't in there, maybe his presence would not be in there. And if that's all you do with your life, you win. You win. Please make sure you've subscribed. Share this with some people. I'm going to have another message for you tomorrow.